everyone, this is Isaac here, and welcome back to Isaac Reviews 2023. Illumination is one of the most profitable animation studios out there, but that doesn't mean they're well liked. Quite the contrary, in fact. Sure, this year they released the Mario movie, which was enjoyed by audiences and went on to become the third highest grossing animated film of all time, but the rest of their filmography has consistently ranged from passable to complete garbage. But then came Migration, and it looked like it'd be far different from the studio's standard output. It was coming from Ernest and Celestine director Benjamin Renner, it had a completely different art style from most of Illumination's filmography, and it wouldn't even have any fart jokes. You heard that right, in terms of the animation studios Universal owns, Illumination had more self-control than DreamWorks this time. Now that's impressive. But anyways, despite coming from one of the most reviled animation studios of the modern era, I actually had hope in Migration. Yeah, I had a feeling that this could be Illumination's new magnum opus following the Mario movie. There was only one way to find out though, and that was for me to watch the movie. And for Illumination standards, this was a very pleasant surprise. It centers around the Mallards, a family of ducks living in a small pond in New England. Their father, Mac, is extremely paranoid and stubborn, while their mother, Pam, wants to see the world beyond their home, much to her husband's disapproval. However, one day Mac finally decides to step out of his comfort zone and migrate to Jamaica with his family for the winter. However, their plans also go south with them when they get lost and wind up in New York City. This experience soon inspires them to expand their horizons, open themselves up to new people, and accomplish more than they ever thought possible. Admittedly, yes, this is the kind of story where you can predict what'll happen far in advance. There's a few standard tropes and trappings here and there, like the third act misunderstanding and dance party ending, but it also follows a very straightforward formula of the Mallards flying for a bit, meeting a new character, getting into wacky hijinks, and then continuing on their way to Jamaica. That and the pacing can come off as a bit rushed at times, even if the movie itself is already pretty short at just under 80 minutes. However, I don't think being generic or predictable is an inherent flaw. As long as I have a good time with something, I think that's all that matters, and thankfully I had a good time with Migration. It's a movie about the importance of family at its core, and how they'll always be there for you even when things get tough, and it did lead to some genuinely nice moments throughout the film that made it clear that its heart was in the right place. Along with that, the characters were all really enjoyable, even if some were relatively limited in their screen time. My personal favorite would have to be Danny DeVito's character, Uncle Dan, whose comedy is consistently on point with his dry-witted and deadpan personality. The voice actors all did a great job as well. I especially liked Keegan-Michael Key's performance as Delroy, and surprisingly enough, I'd consider this one of Awkwafina's better acting roles. Yeah, I know Twitter has taken somewhat of a disliking to her as of late, and I do agree that she's casted in way too many movies nowadays, but I thought her raspy voice fit her character pretty well. At least it's better than the other movie from this year where she was a bird. Another aspect of Migration that I was surprised by was actually the animation. While the vast majority of Illumination's other works have had the same art style, this one is far more creative and wildly expressive with energetic character animation, gorgeous backgrounds that look like something out of a painting, and incredible flying scenes that are made all the better by the amazing score by John Powell. Believe it or not, this movie hardly has any uses of licensed music, unlike most other Illumination movies, and the music we do get is fantastic per John Powell's standards. Like, if you have him composing an animated movie, he's almost guaranteed to cook. Also, if I had a nickel for every time he composed an Illumination movie starring Danny DeVito, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's cool that it happened twice. Overall, Migration is a massive surprise from Illumination. Considering how mid the bulk of their filmography is, it's refreshing to see them make something good for a change. Sure, it doesn't have the strongest writing, but I know it's not trying to do anything deep. It's just a short, sweet, and simple story of some ducks going on vacation, and it's made all the better with some beautiful animation, a lovely score, memorable characters, and great voice acting. If you're in the mood for something simple yet still enjoyable, or if you want something to watch with your family while winter break is still going, I'd certainly recommend giving this a watch. Also, before the movie starts, a Despicable Me short would play called Mooned. Obviously, it's great to see Vector again after 13 whole years, but the short itself is enjoyable and honestly pretty funny. I wouldn't consider this one of the best movies we got this year, even if we're going off animated ones, but I would say that this is the best movie Illumination has made to date. It's only an 8 out of 10, but for the studio's standards, that's certainly something. Next time, I'll be talking about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. It certainly wasn't the worst way they could have ended the DCU, but it's not that good of a movie either. Anyways, thanks for watching this episode of Isaac Reviews 2023, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!